Sam and Andrew from Cultaholic Wrestling, and we're here with some lovely morning wrestling news. How are you doing, Andrew?
Oh, I'm doing good, Sam. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, mate. It's very rare we get to do videos together. So
it actually is now.
Oh,
me too.
You doing good, though?
I'm doing good. It's Friday.
Oh,
Getting too hyped.
We have backstage details on Brock Lesnar's WWE contract. CM Punk's debut Dynamite rating has been revealed, and a WWE legend was cut from an AEW show. Find out why in a bit. So we're kicking things off with news regarding Brock Lesnar's contractual status now that he's returned to WWE, and what a return it was.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, like, you know, it's Brock, and I know we all have mixed feelings about Brock, but as far as final bosses go, yes, part-time and all of the bad stuff, but I still get excited when I watch Brock throw somebody around a ring.
Me too. Yeah. It's just the music that when it pumps in.
If it's part of like nostalgia for me, like, because like, you know, just as I was really at the peak of my viewing, Lesnar debuted, and I've always had a bit of a soft spot for him, even if it's been a bit hard to love him for a while. But he's back now, and according to a report from Fightful Select, his new WWE deal is for at least 8 matches. You better bloody hope it is, because I imagine it's worth a lot of money. It adds that those within WWE that they spoke to believe the deal to be for around a year and a half. Now, Fightful were apparently told by WWE that sources earlier, by WWE sources earlier in the summer, the company wanted Lesnar back imminently, but the WWE's hopes aren't always necessarily the same as Brock's hopes. And we hear this quite a lot, like Brock, if you go back and you look through even his autobiography, there's very little about wrestling in it because his heart just wasn't really in it. And he likes to stay away, he likes to have his own little life, and he lives in his own little bubble, and he comes out when the time's right for him. But apparently, you know, his 16-month absence was his longest since returning to the company in April 2012. And it's been confirmed that moving forward, interestingly, he's gonna be a babyface, isn't he, Andrew?
Yeah, for like, this is the first time since what, like the early 2000s as well?
Yeah, for sure. Like, it's weird because like we're so used to Lesnar with Heyman.
Yes.
You know, it's kind of like Lesnar can't talk, right? But if you go back and you look through some of his earlier stuff when he was reigning as champion, or like in and around that sphere when he first came in, they gave him a lot of mic time.
They did.
It never, you know, it didn't necessarily, you know, resonate through the ages like a pipe bomb. But he is capable of talking, and he is capable of being that guy. And you know, like, even little simple things like I don't give an S about your kids, just stuff like that. I think, you know, it proves that there is something in there that hopefully we're going to be able to see Brock come out a little bit more of his shell. And I don't imagine he's somebody they're going to write pretty strictly for, given that it's Brock Lesnar. So we'll just be like, go out there and hit all these notes. Yeah. So it's going to be interesting to see, but I'm quite excited. Yeah,
me too. I mean, obviously, like at least 8 matches, I assume these are probably going to be pay-per-view matches more than anything
Probably,
else.
And I imagine it'll involve, you know, like, probably appearances at Raw, SmackDown, places like that. 8 matches though.
It doesn't seem like a lot, but I guess Brock's just one of those people where, like you were saying, he'll just turn up, do his job, and then go off again for a little bit. I suppose,
you know, he's not gonna fight Roman, and I don't think they're gonna make him work a tag against the Usos. No. So he's gonna wait for a pay-per-view for Roman, isn't he?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, they might have a bit of a blow-up on SmackDown or something and go after each other, but yeah, I don't know. 8 matches, it sounds like it's not a lot, but in the world of Brock, it is a lot. It's weird.
And then also, I guess, storyline-wise as well, there's got to be a lot of development there between Roman and Brock, just because Paul Heyman's in the middle. So that's going to be interesting within itself anyway.
Oh, for sure. And, you know, you got to hope that it pulls in big ratings. And speaking of ratings, we're now moving on to the news regarding AEW's ratings following the CM Punk debut. The good news is for AEW that Wednesday's edition of Dynamite drew 1.17 million views. It was the number 1 ranked show on cable TV for the evening, and it was up from 975,000 from the week prior, and was the best viewership that the show has drawn since April 14th. And better still for AEW, in the vaunted 18 to 49 demographic, they did a 0.48, which was up from the 0.35 of last week, and it will be the second highest rating in that demo since the show premiered in October 2019. Now, apparently when the ratings came in, TNT released a statement touting the boosted numbers, so AEW are getting really behind TNT are getting really behind AEW, as expected, but it seems like they're proud.
Yeah, I mean, they should be. I think they really should be. I think this is a big thing in wrestling history for them, for us as wrestling fans.
It's massive.
It really is, and we haven't seen. I know we talk a lot about, like, you know, competition doesn't matter. Competition matters more than ever, I think, at the moment.
Yeah, I think the thing is, there's a lot of discourse about ratings, and there always has been, like, are they even necessary? Like, Nielsen has been an outdated model apparently for a very long time.
Yeah,
it's not quite a fair representation of the viewership and what people are watching, but at the same time, it's kind of all we got. So, and as much as, you know, we bang on about ratings, we don't always really want to bang on about ratings, but some people out there do see this as important and do need this news and do want to know how people are doing. So there are your ratings for AEW. It's on an uptick, but I mean, if they can just maintain this, they're going to be able to build on it and build on it and build. They've just got to make this the new floor. 1 million viewers needs to be the new floor.
Exactly, and I think, you know, with the acquisitions they've got recently, obviously Punk, Malachi Black, maybe perhaps Adam Cole down the line,
possibly Brian, possibly Bray.
It's going to be insane, and I mean, I can just see it going on the up and up from here. It gets people excited about wrestling again, and you know, when you see people being very proud of their work and very proud of these ratings and stuff. Like, you just can't. I mean, just go for it. You've done amazing things, so just be proud. And
they're shooting themselves in the foot a bit though, because everybody knows that the one draw you need to really get that show popping off is Virgil.
What does that mean?
Get him booked. Get him in there. Let's have it.
Come on. With breadsticks. He's got to come out with his breadsticks. A breadstick death match against Omega. What about that? Just like Olive Garden.
What are you going to do? Croutons with the thumbtacks?
That'd be amazing.
Well, we're sticking with AEW now, and we're going to have a look at Chris Jericho's AEW contract situation. Now, the first ever AEW champion is set to face MJF at the All Out pay-per-view, which is coming up on September 5th. And the stip is that if Jericho loses, his AEW career will be over. Now, on a recent episode of the Wrestling Observer Radio, a fan asked Meltzy, Big Melly Welly, about Jericho's contract status, as he'd signed a 3-year deal and it was coming up in the fall. Now, Meltzer noted that while it was a 3-year deal, there is a 1-year option tacked onto it. So feasibly, it's like the end of next year that he could choose to kind of walk out on that contract if he wanted to. I don't know about this. You know, Ross seems to think Jericho's retiring.
Yeah.
I could see it, but at the same time, I don't know. Jericho feels like one of those guys where he'll never not be on our screens in some way. So even if he moves away from active in-ring competition, I imagine, one, if he was to retire, he'd want to do a world tour.
Yeah, definitely.
Because, you know, he has a history in Mexico, he has a history in Japan, he's obviously went back over to Japan, continued to work there, and has been very popular in doing so. And I think we'd have something like that, maybe. But I do think that Jericho's the type of guy where he'll be, if not, you know, a manager or, you know, in and around the production, or on commentary or something, he will be like, I'm retiring, and then a year later he'll be like, I'm back!
I'm back, baby, woo! Well, you know, we've heard Jericho say before, like, he doesn't want any, he doesn't want it to be so huge, grandeur. He kind of just wants to exit stage left and that be it, and then he's done. So, and this at the moment, like, the 5 Labors of Jericho feels like a bit more, a bit bigger in stature that way. So I don't think this is going to be the end for Jericho just yet. I think he will one day. We'll just see him have a final match and then
I don't think I'm ready for that.
Me
Jericho's
neither.
Like, he's one of the first wrestlers I remember when I started watching WCW and stuff. So it'll never not be weird to me that he'll not be wrestling one day.
But then, like you were saying, he's going to be on our screens no matter what anyway.
Sure. But keeping it with AEW, for our last piece of news here, there was a WWE legend who was cost an AEW appearance by Edge's SummerSlam appearance. And who was it, Andrew?
It was Buffy the Vampire's greatest enemy.
Oh, no.
Do you know who it was?
It was Blake, no.
No, it was Gangrel, Sam. It was Gangrel. So, on his Fanging and Banging podcast, which is the best name of a podcast
I think there's no G's there. It's Fanging
Banging. Whoa! Gangrel revealed that while he enjoyed Edge's Brood entrance at SummerSlam, it actually ended up costing him an appearance on Wednesday Night Dynamite. According to the former WWE star, he was supposed to do a similar entrance on Dynamite, but plans were changed after SummerSlam, and Gangrel said that he understood AEW's decision and had spoken to Edge about it on the phone afterwards, with the WWE Hall of Famer very apologetic about the bad timing.
Yeah, it just sucks, doesn't it? Like, it must have been just so unnerving, because apparently they had something similar planned for him, and it was going to be a very Brood-like entrance for Gangrel,
cool.
and it would have been class, but yeah, I guess, you know, timing, they can't exactly run a similar entrance because they'll be accused, whether or not, you know, it was planned way off in advance months ago.
That's it.
It'll be like, well, you know, you're only doing that because you've got to pop with it, and it's that type of situation that I guess they do need to avoid. It's just a shame for Gangrel.
Do you know, it is a shame for Gangrel.
Back and they're able to do this for him.
Me too, especially because obviously with Christian and Don Callis at the moment, they're going through all this history stuff. It would have been awesome to see Gangrel and Christian come out to the Brood entrance as well, which would have been so cool. But do you know what? It was awesome to see Edge come out. I was hoping Gangrel was going to come out with Edge at one point, either on SmackDown or at SummerSlam. That would have just been a nice little cherry on top of that cake. But do you know what? We'll see him. We'll see Big Gangrel again. He's never gone. He's never gone far.
No, and his podcast's really cool. You should check it out. He just sits and talks and talks and talks, and he's got a lot of stories, and he just seems like a lovely bloke.
He's just fanging and banging, brah.
Yeah, well, that is it for your morning wrestling news. I've been Sam.
And I've been Andrew.
That's right, you have. Anything you want to say to the lovely viewers before we head off?
Just have a good Friday and that. Do you know what I'm saying? We'll be back anyway. Got some more hot, fresh wrestling news for thee. And just have a nice day. What are you going to say? Tell him.
See you later.
Bye.